Well, I don't know where to start this. I honestly don't. I'll try my best. I've been going through a lot lately, and a lot of you don't like. You guys know that I don't like to like talk much about a lot of my personal stuff that's going on. But I've been going through like a lot of mental strain, like a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and I've been going through a lot of depression as well. It's been really hard to deal with sometimes, the panic attacks, the waves of depression hitting me hard. So if you haven't been filled in or you're not close to me, I haven't told you, I've been going through a lot in the past few years. A lot. And it's really, really, really got me feeling down and feeling like crap. Some of you know I'm trying to push this channel to be more like friendly. I'm trying to get out of the mojo of the negative people hanging around for a while. On top of that, let me fill you in on what's been happening. So basically, so I was 17. I was given a choice. Basically give up who I was, who I really am. If you don't know what that is, I'll tell you in a bit. Or be kicked out into a program known as Job Corps. I chose to stand my ground and stay true to who I was and end up being placed in the Job Corps program. I tried getting a trade that I wanted through the program. And I did have a lot of emotions when it was all happening, because this meant I was gonna have to drop out of high school, even though this place did promise to help me finish my high school or get a GED. It was a whole dramatic drive. I packed up what little I had left from all the abuse I had gone through over the years. Once again, I'll get more into that detail a little bit later on. Shoot. So I went to Job Corps. Like I said earlier, I didn't really get the training I wanted. Even though carpentry was fun, I wanted to be more into computer tech, programming, stuff like that. There was a trade for that, but they claimed that there's not enough room, even though I later found out that there's 4 more spaces, and I don't know where that went. So I stayed at the Job Corps program room. Of course, it was like stayed in their dormitories after being kicked out of where I lived with my family. I was still 17. When my 18th birthday came up, I was still in the program. Alone, desperate, depressed, not wanting to be there, feeling betrayed by my family. So Job Corps program went on, 18th birthday came, barely any acknowledgement from my family. It's really hard. No, none of them acknowledged me, I think, except from like my aunt. And then like a long time after my birthday, like about a month, I was still like happy late birthday or something, and they made the excuse they were busy. So after that, I stayed in the Job Corps program. Eventually, COVID-19 started becoming big. A lot of stuff was happening in the world. Yeah. But when COVID-19 hit, the Job Corps campus I was on thought they could stay stable enough and keep us contained enough to keep the place running. They're wrong, very wrong, and their staff, being the abusive, power-hungry assholes they were, messed up a lot of that stuff for us. So what happened is the campus was forced to close down because the irresponsible staff. I was scared, didn't know where to go. I was lucky enough to have a close friend of me offer me to go with him. Of course, Job Corps was paying the tickets because that's all they could do. The bus tickets, the train tickets, everything, plane tickets, whatever you needed to get the F out of there, get somewhere safe. 50% of the campus, out of about at least 400, 15% of that 400 was caught homeless after that. Some of them really close buddies of mine. So I went to go live with my friend. This is the second place I had to move to. Second place. So technically it's the third-ish place. I went there. The family was amazing. They're all amazing individuals that struggle. They had their own struggles. Not gonna get into it. Not gonna put out their stuff, So that's for them to disclose. A very amazing family. Mother, father. He was really cool. He collected a lot of Star Wars stuff. That's what I'm gonna say about him. Mother cared for some special individuals as their job. My friend had a brother. The brother was amazing. There's a lot going on with them, but I respected them. They respected me. A while into being there, even though I was playing my part in cleaning up and trying to find a way to financially support the family and help them, one the landlord's roommates, or the roommate specifically, the female roommate, didn't take a liking that I always got my tasks done. It was more so that she didn't like because I was who I was, which I'll tell you guys in a bit. So what happened is I was completing some tasks one day, and I was pulled aside by the landlords to have a personal talk about personal life and responsibility, and basically a talk I've had before many times with my parents and the therapist at the Job Corps campus I was at, like I said earlier. So things were getting really rough. They basically gave me a warning saying that I needed to do more, even though I was doing my best and helping out as much as possible. So I had been, it was like another few weeks after that, a week and 2.5 weeks, I think. And how do I say this? It was kind of messed up, honestly. The landlord's roommate personally confronted me while I had just finished vacuuming, and I was powering on the console in the family room so I could play some games and chill out finally for the day. She came down, said the place wasn't clean, even though I had vacuumed and dust, and my friend and his brother also had chipped into cleaning some of the rooms and stuff. So the dishes weren't done and stuff, even though that was his brother's responsibility, and there's only one dish that wasn't done. It was a pan. She got extremely angry at me. I had another friend on call at the time on the console when I powered it up. They got into a PlayStation party with them. They heard the whole thing. She tried hiding my controller, my headset, and covering with pillows so my friend wouldn't hear the cruel stuff she tried saying to me. My friend shortly came back after taking the trash, which was where we were. The cans were way out on a road, so you had to walk really far to get to them. He finally got back and saw what was happening. He couldn't really do anything. I told her a few choice words. Told her that she needs to stop hating me and hating, just hating that I was doing my life perfectly fine here, and I was like enjoying myself. About I think it was 4 days later, I was given the warning from the landlords and my friend's parents that I need to get the heck out. So I contacted the only people who previously gave me a place, Job Corps. I was lucky enough for them to be reopening the campus partially to certain individuals who were struggling with housing at the time, which there was still like at least a good like 13%. They only gotten 2% off the streets, people on campus. So I ended up having to go back to the campus after being kicked off due to a jealous asshole who was jealous for my success in the place I was currently at. So I went back to Job Corps. I was moved to a different dormitory on the far side of the campus, not the same dormitory that I was in, for quarantine. I stayed there for a week after taking a test. They had me quarantined there. I literally couldn't leave the room. No cap. It was like this. This dorm I was in was like an old like motel that was converted into like a special like dormitory. So I was living in this like rustic ass like looking hotel for like a week, not leaving the room. They gave me a computer though, so I got to watch some YouTube videos. But I had like other tasks that they required me to perform. I was required to constantly, like every single day, attend video meetings with my instructor or the trainer. I was also supposed to go to online school, which I did loyally. I then got out after a week and a few extra days because the results were for some reason delayed. So I got out. I finally got onto the campus. Everything looked amazing. There's not a lot of kids, of course. Not a lot of adults either, because the program takes both. It takes people up to, I think it was like 25 or something, like 16 to 25-year-olds on like all over the campus. And I was put in a spaced out dormitory where you can only now have, instead of 4 people in one room, it's only 2, and you have to be on opposite sides of the room. So I went with that, and I was able to start attending in-person stuff. They offered me an extra chance as an apology to get my driver's license, so I jumped on that immediately. I was really enjoying my time back there when a situation happened with a student. I couldn't tolerate it no more, the abuse of the staff members on the campus to the students. So I personally stepped in. I started recording video footage. My phone was taken away, and fake legal paperwork, they threatened me, stuff like that. I had to delete the video. If I still had it, I would totally show you guys. But it was of 2 staff members bullying a member of the LGBTQ community who was literally just studying in the garden area, like this really chill area they have for us where we could go chill and like do stuff like study. I stepped in, told them what they were doing was wrong and that I would report them. Sooner or later, they saw me as those 2 people saw me as a threat, made up a story, had me and both the kid that they bullied kicked out of the program. I was luckily saved by one of my exes who went through a lot of hell to get to me, even though I did suggest a different route versus the hell route they took to get to me. They picked me up 2 days before I was going to get kicked off campus onto the streets. They literally did me another kid like that. I found out like a while later, after like settling down with my ex, that kid had been kicked off campus and went homeless because their parents really didn't give anything for them, and they ended up having to move in with their like grandma or something that was like later on. But we had a road trip down the USA western coastline. It was pretty fun. Lots of drama here and there from Karens and stuff. But we stayed in several hotels, one being in my hometown because I had made a request to my ex that I wanted to go, try not to cry, back home. I wanted to see home. I wanted to see where I was raised. So they went out of their way to take me all the way back up to Washington just so that I can pick up a box of goods from my family that they were threatened to throw out, and to enjoy one last look at my childhood home, which had been sold off, along with my room being refurbished after something happened, but I'll tell you guys later. So when that happened, we stayed in a nice little hotel in my town. It was really, really cute. We had food from Red Robin brought to us that night, and we kind of just continued our trip from there. It was very emotional for me, seeing my hometown like that, being able to walk around and say hi to some people I hadn't seen in a long time, and seeing my old place of work, my original like actual first like real job outside of me mowing people's lawns and doing maintenance for them. So time comes to pass, road trip happens. I'm in Texas now, the Galveston Island, enjoying life. Things started getting really tense. I start having these weird emotions, and it's just crazy. I'm not going to go into detail of exactly what happened, but some negative stuff happened, and I kind of wanted a deep part of me which just didn't know what to do. So I called out desperately, and some amazing people reached out to me and offered me a place. I soon ordered a Lyft, plane tickets, at last minute, my last chance. I then came to San Diego. That trip was nice. I haven't flown a plane in a long time. I was nervous, obviously, because I don't like airports at all. It's hard. I'm trying not to cry or anything. My guy here, I got to live in the schoolhouse trailer, and they let me have electricity and a Wi-Fi extender in there. I hooked up my PlayStation 5, which I had gotten while I was with my ex, by the way, just to fill in that gap of how I got my console. It was pretty cool. I got to stay in there. We got this cool situation in a house from because the people I moved in with had family relations to the people who owned the land at the time, and so that happened. I moved out of the trailer. That's the next place I moved out of, and I moved into the place I'm currently in, and place I'm currently having to get out of again, which is really depressing and causing me a lot of anxiety, and why I've been acting the way I've been acting lately, negatively. And I've been trying to avoid it, trying to conceal my feelings. But there's been a lot going on. I've really enjoyed my life here. I got a job and everything. I mean, the job is kind of shitty. Management is kind of shitty, but yeah, we all have our own problems, I'm sure. I started more commonly doing YouTube while I was here. I had a dream to be a YouTuber, and it's finally like starting up here and now. I just don't want to leave you guys out on what's going on. I want you guys to know what you're getting into, who I am, my backstory, and like what you're getting into when you subscribe to my channel and like follow my content. Furthermore, all this has caused me a lot of stress. Flashing back to my childhood, like I promised I'd tell you guys. I was young. I actually had a sister, a blood sister. We were both actually adopted at a very, very young age. That alone caused a lot of emotional issues in my youth. I always cried for my mom, my dad. I always tried to ask a higher power to bring them to me, because I miss them. I still cry thinking about not being able to ever see my real mother or father. Enough with that drama BS. I grew up and I was adopted along with my sister, by a very strong church going family, very God-loving family. They promised each and every one of us, me, my sister, their 3 blood-born children, my 3 other brothers, all unique and amazing, even though some of them were kind of assholes at some point, but they kind of grew out of it. Here's where I tell you who I am, because you need to know in order for me to tell further. I'm not going to tell you my real name, obviously, but you can call me Kinian, you can call me Crash, Kin, Eon, or Nikki. So, personally, it's hard. It was hard when I first actually did it. I was young. I discovered I was gay. I didn't really have any emotions or attraction to any woman in my youth or when I was growing up. I still don't. I also have a lot of conflicted emotions about my gender orientation. I'm a proud part of the LGBT community, and I fought through a lot of stuff when I ended up coming out to my family, who had promised that they would love me no matter what, no matter who I was, no matter what path I took, as long as it was in a few select things, which I didn't fit any of those. You could probably guess what those select life paths were that they didn't want me to do. I also joined the furry community as a young, ambitious artist, not knowing any of the darker side of the community at the time. Even though there's a lot of positive stuff that I flourished off of. I made a lot of friends being an artist, but straight to it, I came out to my parents thinking I could trust them, thinking that they would still I'm sure somewhere deep down, hopefully, I'm hoping, this is just me hoping honestly, that they care. Because I went through hell. I was around the age of 12, 13-ish when I came out. And hell broke loose. They misinterpreted who I was and everything. And kind of took it seriously. Because very religious parents, very religious family. Things started getting harder and harder over the years. I started losing privilege after privilege because they wanted me to be someone who I didn't want to be and who I wasn't. They wanted me to conform, and they tried their best. At some point, they kind of gave in and were trying to be understanding, but still trying to be a little pushy about it. And when I continued to say no and say that I was proud of who I was and I wouldn't change my ways, I wouldn't change who I was, and I would stay on my path, things got dark real fast. I started getting, I didn't take it as abuse at first, because I wasn't really aware of that at the time until I took my psychology class in I think it was middle school or high school. I took another psychology class in high school, yeah. So there's one in middle school about psychology, behavior, human anatomy, stuff like that. I think we all have to take it at some point when we go through school. So, shoot. It got really dark. They started taking a lot of my toys, a lot of my belongings. At this time, I had a pretty nice room. It was really awesome. And I started losing everything. They started taking everything away. They didn't allow me to have a phone because they didn't want me to contact no one about my current situation, that what they were doing, tell them what was happening, tell them that I need to get the heck out of there. It comes to a few years later, I'm literally living in a room with nothing but a mattress and 2 posters that they allowed me to have, including a half broken ass dresser that they constantly tore apart to look through for contraband, as they said, or called it, art pieces, cellular devices, technology, anything that they had taken away before or weren't allowing me to have privilege to at that time, because apparently gay people in that family couldn't have any privilege. Yeah. I still had lots of feelings, hopes, emotions for what was going on. And it was about 15. I was about 15 or 16. A lot of dramatic stuff happened. I'm not going to detail. A lot of it started getting physical. The abuse. They denied that they were abusing me, and tried their best to hide it. Tried their best to destroy all forms of evidence that I was trying to create to get against them. Sooner or later, it's 16, 17-ish. Once again, room still barren, BS. But now I have like a basket and like a half assembled like radio at this time because they wanted to be somewhat more humane. It's almost time for me to go to Job Corps. I don't know about this, of course, at all at the time. I was happily going through high school with my job at the Kroger Fred Meyer's nearby. I enjoyed my job a lot there, trained a lot of people, moved up really fast. Shoot. Time came. They had the last straw. My emotions were being torn away from my family. I couldn't trust a lot of my family members anymore. I was losing like my emotions towards a lot of them, like my strong family emotions, like the family bond that we share. If you understand that, I don't know if you don't. If you don't, it's okay. There was a trip that they wanted, a family trip, like right before I was sent to Job Corps to Disney World in Florida. I hid because I didn't want to go because I didn't want to be near my mother because I was scared of her because she's abusive to me, said things to me. And I ended up getting beat up for that because I didn't want to go. I wanted to stay. I wanted to stay home away from her. I ended up being forced to go, and I had only 5 minutes to pack my stuff so I can go on the trip. We ended up going to Disney World and coming back. Things only got rougher from there. And finally, they cracked. They sent me to Job Corps because I refused the final time they're asking me to change who I was. They promised me things I know wouldn't be true. I didn't trust them no more. My room was literally a crime scene, if you could say that. And they refurbished it after I left in order to cover up some of the stuff they did. Some of the blood that was on there. Yes, there was blood. Shoot. Yeah, I went to Job Corps afterwards. I was really emotional. It was a very horrible drive too. I was finally allowed to have my DS back, my DSi. I played some Pokemon Black on there. That's fun. First video games I had played in a long time. When I got there, my mom searched through my bags and found some of my furry contraband that I had been hiding, and I got from my stash. She personally took them, threw them in a trash bag, and took them with her home. And that's the last I saw of my mom till I tried reconnecting with them and coming to understand after my 18th birthday, the Christmas after my 18th birthday, which is in the fall season. By the way, that's when my birthday is. Not gonna tell you exactly when. Don't want my personal information being out there. And I chose to visit one last time before my life went into deep, deep sorrow and bullshit. I don't know what else to talk about right now. I'm just very emotional, and I'm sorry for any of my actions as of lately. I really am sorry, guys. I'll continue creating content as best as possible, even though I will be having to move soon, which will put a rift in the content for a little bit, possible unstable rift. I'm not afraid. Nothing bad's going to happen. I'm positive of that. But just so you guys know, I've been struggling. And this is my story. If you want more details, Maybe I'll make a part 2. I don't know. I'm really emotional right now, trying to hold it together. That's why I don't have the camera on, of course. I have a choice to have the camera on right now. I just want you guys to see me crying. I'm trying not to. I really appreciate you guys' support. If you're not just subbed yet, I make variety content on my channel for different games. I'm hoping to expand my channel's content creation in the future and make my videos better. Hopefully with your support, we can grow a community that makes this channel and that community can grow together and be strong together. Please support my streams with just a simple like would be awesome. I don't care if you dislike it. It is what it is. You have your own opinions, whatever. I do care about you guys. Your support is really awesome. Sub to my channel if you haven't. If you don't want to be my subscriber anymore because of some of the information you absorbed in this video, I completely understand and I respect your decision to leave until my stream, which I should be streaming later, hopefully. It's gonna be bye, guys. I really hope you understand.